In early August 2011, 6 undergraduates and 2 graduate assistants arrived at the Bad River Reservation for a 1 week field course, Visualizing Health in a Cultural Context. We came here to learn about the physical, mental, spiritual, and environmental health of the Ojibwe people. Bad River, one of 6 Ojibwe bands in Wisconsin, is located along the south shore of Lake Superior. The 120,000-acre reservation includes the river and the Kakagan Sloughs, one of the richest wild rice-producing areas in the world. Monoman, as the Ojibwe call this aquatic grass, is at the center of the culture. Its oldest stories, its history, its political identity, its economy are all influenced by wild rice.
So if we look at 2007, this is, you can see, was at the really, really low water levels, and this is when the wild rice harvest was closed. But it doesn't want it to stay at that high level. It wants it to go back down so it can thrive again. So once in a while, high levels are good. All the time, not so good.
The field course was actually one of 2 UW projects going on that week in Bad River. The other was our Tribal Youth Media Workshop. Since 2007, a team of media specialists from the Department of Life Sciences Communication has been working with Native youth on Indian reservations, teaching them digital storytelling and asking them to explore environmental issues by interviewing their elders and Native scientists. On some field trips, the undergrads and the youth worked together, like this visit to the rice beds. It was a bit soggy. Well, okay, it rained buckets. Luckily, we had some file video of the sloughs on a nice day that students were able to incorporate into their videos.
The possibilities of pollution in our Bad River watershed is...
Right now, the tribe is very concerned about a proposed taconite mine at the headwaters of the Bad River. UW students took a field trip to Copper Falls State Park, where Great Lakes Indian Fish and Wildlife Commission scientists talked more about the perceived mine threat. More than any other issue, we learned, the mine and the environmental health concerns associated with it are weighing heavily on the community. We weren't the only ones visiting Bad River that week. A cultural exchange group from South Korea was also there. These Asian visitors invited us to a feast at the community center and provided entertainment, which included a play and a drum demonstration, which was very popular with the locals. UW students also heard from Bob Paulus, who talked about Ojibwe Moan, the Ojibwe language, which, like so many native languages, is threatened as fewer and fewer young people speak their native tongues at home. They also heard from Edith Leoso, who coordinates NAGPRA, the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. This is the federal law by which tribes are able to retrieve human remains and cultural items that have found their way into museums and public collections. Leoso gave a moving talk about how crucial the return of these artifacts is to the cultural and spiritual health of the community. The UW students wanted to give something back as a thank you to the community. The day before we left, they built a beaver lodge for the Bad River Head Start playground. Students modified an igloo-type doghouse, adding mud and sticks, much the way a beaver builds his lodge. It had to dry between layers, so the lodge wasn't quite finished by the time we left, but it was a good start to a worthwhile project. 3 of the UW students were Bad River tribal members who said they actually learned quite a bit about their community that week. Their participation helped us meet a couple of our goals: to listen to what the indigenous people have to say about cultural, spiritual, and environmental health, to acknowledge the value in learning about health within a cultural context, and through the youth workshop, help grow the next generation of digital storytellers who can help safeguard it. The stories you're about to see were written, narrated, and edited by youth ages 10 to 14. They also composed their own music. Each of the participants had the use of a pocket-sized Kodak PlayTouch camera. For outreach and field research, we really recommend this camera that retails for just over $100. It's small, it shoots 1920 by 1080i high-definition video, And unlike nearly all the other flip-type cameras out there, it has an external audio jack, so you can plug in a microphone and get great audio. The youth used Acid Music Studio to compose original music and Vegas Movie Studio to edit their stories. UW donated the cameras to the Bad River Library so the students can continue to build their media skills and tell their stories.